our Gen Zers and our young people today, our students here, they want to live a life of purpose.
Yeah.
And so that's why we exist, to
Yeah.
help them discover, who is God? Who am I? What's my purpose in life? What difference am I going to make in this world? Those are the most important things. And that, can you get that a lot of other places? Maybe, but I know you can get that here at Northwestern.
All right,
Hey,
cheers. Welcome everyone to Coffee with the President. It is my honor. We're here at University of Northwestern, St. Paul. I'm here with the President, Dr. Hoornbeek. Thank you for doing this.
Hey, thank you so much. It's really good to be here with you.
It's good to be here.
It's going to be fun.
It's going to be fun. Are these might be the biggest coffee mugs we've done Coffee with the President to date?
Yeah, well,
you guys don't joke around with your coffee.
I mean, this is Minnesota.
Yeah.
So, Minnesota is going to be, you got to warm up.
Yeah, absolutely. That's it. And I do think what's great about this, and we are unwavering.
We are.
I would love to just start with that, to start with your tagline.
Let's talk
what
about
that means. And because this is going to be a very special, a powerful episode. Your students are incredible. These stories are just remarkable. But let's start with that.
Yeah. Let's talk about unwavering, because unwavering is who we are. Unwavering isn't just a slick tagline.
Yeah.
It is who we are as an institution. It's who we are as a Christ-centered university. Unwavering means really two things. It means, first of all, an unwavering love for God's world and an unwavering love for God's word. And it starts with the centrality of Scripture, and it moves to service. We want to serve the world with the unwavering love of God. And that begins, of course, with an unwavering love for His Word, the Bible. And that informs everything we do at Northwestern. We love the Scriptures. We love the Bible. It informs everything we do.
Yeah, so great. It's like, how do we even follow that up? I mean, and I don't know how much you know about the episode or what students have been casted and all this, but the stories you hear of that, and that just like, that Christ-centered education, it's so important here, and you all just do a phenomenal, job with that. So I know there's talk about this kind of 7-year plan. Yeah. Do you want to discuss it?
Yeah, let's talk about it, because you think 7 years is a long time. Is it too long? And the fact is, 7 years goes by pretty quickly, and especially in higher education. Time goes by really, really fast. And so when we started this visioning process, we said, as a community, we started with the question, who do we want to be in 2030? That was kind of nice because we started it in 2023, but who do we want to be as a university, as a Christ-centered university? Who do we want to be in 2030? And we work backwards from there. And, when you ask those kinds of questions, it takes you into a number of other questions. And that first question that we asked is, who are we? And, in higher education, especially Christian higher education, that's hard. It's hard sometimes for people to answer that question, who are we? Because everybody has a different opinion of that. So we answered that question, who are we? And then we answered a couple of other questions. And the first question is, what must never change about Northwestern? What must never change about this place? And then the second question is, what must change? If we're going to become this preferred destination, this place that students want to come to and choose to come here, we need to be able to answer the question of what must change about Northwestern to be able to meet the greatest needs of the world. And of course, as a Christian university, we believe that God's called us not just to be anchored in our faith, but to serve the world and to make a difference in the world. And so we began with those questions. Who are we? What must never change about Northwestern? And then, of course, what do we want to do to change the world? It's a beautiful
story. And I can't wait for you as the audience to watch this episode, because you hear these stories. I mean, they're not only just serving here on campus, in this community, in the state, but around the world. There's so many amazing opportunities here to travel, to serve, to get out there. It's awesome. Yeah.
That's awesome.
But, and there's a lot of places I'd love to go from. I was talking about the performing arts and all that stuff, but the biotech, I'd love you to dig into that a little bit.
You bet.
Yeah.
So we live in this part of the world. Some people call it the Silicon Valley of MedTech, or Medical Alley. If you look at all the way from Duluth, which is up on Lake Superior, all the way down to Rochester, where of course the Mayo Clinic is, this is what we call Medical Alley. And Medical Alley includes somewhere between 1,000 and 1,400 medical device companies.
Wow.
Okay, we're right.
Know that.
Exactly. Most people think,
wow. I know it's like a bio hub. I knew something. That's a lot of companies. It makes sense.
And some of those are big companies. A lot of them are small companies. And so it's really important for us. We have an ABET accredited engineering school, one of only 2 privately accredited ABET accredited programs in the state of Minnesota. That's really important to us. We've got an excellent engineering program, excellent computer science program, excellent STEM program. But biotechnology and biosciences really combines those 3 things, and it puts us in a place. If you draw a 10-mile radius around the campus of University of Northwestern, we are right in the hub of the medical device industry. Yeah. So not only companies that are developing medical devices, but also those manufacturing medical device products. So that places us in a special place to be able to serve the needs of the world through healthcare. Yeah. But here's the thing. We don't just want our students to come out and be great engineers. We want them to come out and be problem solvers. We want them to be able to look out into the world and see problems that need to be solved. And with an integrated interdisciplinary approach to engineering, computer sciences, the STEM disciplines, biology and all that, to look at the problems of the world and say, you know what? God's given me the ability to solve some of these problems. Yeah. So that's why we're excited about biotechnology, and why we're excited about stepping into, in a stepped up kind of way, taking our engineering program to the next level.
Yeah. So during that, when you were talking, it's incredible what you all are doing here with these students, but you just talked about, this campus. And I just want to take a pause, because we were talking about it off camera before we started recording. Yeah. And we've been saying it since our whole crew, since we've arrived here filming this episode. It is a spectacular campus. And the more I'm seeing, the more I'm like, oh my, you got a lake around here. Your staff was just telling me about an island that the first chapel was on over here. And everything is manicured to perfection. Yeah. It's got to be awesome coming to work here every day.
It's an amazing campus.
More importantly, going to school.
Come to school here. And here's the thing. How many places in the world today can young people step into an oasis? A place where you're 10 minutes from downtown St. Paul, you're 15 minutes from downtown Minneapolis, but you're in this oasis.
Oh, for sure.
You're in this oasis where there's quiet and there's peace. How many places, this side of heaven, do you have those kinds of oases?
No, it is so. I honestly, now that you're saying it like this, I was seeing how far because I think we're 20 minutes from the airport.
Exactly.
You're 20 minutes, but you do not feel like you were 20 minutes from an airport. You feel like you were 4 hours away from an airport. How beautiful and secluded and just beautiful it is.
And that's part of Northwestern. We call ourselves a living, learning community. And in today's world, you think, what are the most important things in today's world to young people? Well, we think relationships are the center. When you think of what is the most important capital that anybody can have in this world today, it's relationships. Yeah. You can get a degree in a lot of different ways. You can get a degree in a lot of different settings. You can get a degree a lot cheaper. That's the reality. You can get a degree without ever leaving your bedroom in today's world. But we believe that there is a value in living and learning together in community, and living together in relationship, not only with your peers, but also with faculty and staff. So yes, we're a 4-season campus. Yeah. Some people might say one of those seasons is pretty cold, but we like to think of ourselves as being the warmest campus in America.
I love that. And it's so true. We're once again, we're going to talk about all these stories and actually hear real from the students and alumni about exactly what you're saying. Yeah. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Yeah. There's a 122 year history.
122 years.
That's amazing. Yeah. When you look to the next 122 years, what do you see?
Yeah. So I won't be around in 122 years. None of us.
You never know. A lot of biotech happening here.
Every generation stewards this place and the mission to the next generation. And one of my favorite Psalms in the Bible, Psalm 145, says that one generation will proclaim your works to the next generation, O Lord. That's really, really important, because that's what we're doing. We're passing on this place and this mission to the next generation. How many institutions colleges, universities in America today that are 100 plus years old still hold to their historic Christian mission? Yeah. Well, my hope and dream is that 100 years from now, 200 years from now, 300 years from now, that Northwestern still holds to our historic Christian mission, that our students still come here because they have an unwavering love for God's word and an unwavering love for God's world. That would be my hope. And if we're doing that 100 years from now, 200 years from now, then we did something right in our time here.
You can't say it much. I don't know. I can't say it any better than that. I just want to say, from everyone at the college tour and everyone out there, it's like, thank you for what you're doing. Thank you for what this institution is doing, to serve, to bring the word across the world. And just, it's, since the moment I stepped foot on this campus, I know our whole crew is that. And I know you feel it every single day, and your staff and all the students. It's like, everyone's happy.
This is such a
everyone's
special
up,
place.
and in a world that sometimes is, kind of unfortunately here, like division and all this stuff. It's like, it's nice to be around happy, uplifting people.
It is. So, I read a Gallup poll recently. I like these kinds of things. I read a Gallup poll recently, and they asked something like 1,208 Gen Zers. So age 12 to 24, what is the most important thing to you in life? And of course, in today's world, there are a lot of things that are important. Do I have a boyfriend or girlfriend? How many likes do I have on my Instagram or followers? All those kinds of things. This is what they said. The number one reason, or the number one thing that was most important to Gen Zers is living a life of purpose. Living a life of purpose. So I think sometimes we sell our Gen Zers short. I think sometimes we think, they don't know what's going on in life, and they're so consumed with their social media, and they're absorbed with, how many likes they get on their last, Instagram posts or things like that. But no way. Our Gen Zers and our young people today, our students here, they want to live a life of purpose. Yeah. And so that's why we exist, to help them discover who is God? Who am I? What's my purpose in life? What difference am I going to make in this world? Those are the most important things. And that, can you get that a lot of other places? Maybe, but I know you can get that here at Northwestern.
Yeah, and for sure, it's not even a question. And thank you. It's so great to hear. I have one of the greatest jobs in the world. Is I've been to, I don't know, in season 14 here, almost 200 campuses, and I say that same thing a lot. Because. Yeah, I think that there's this common thing of the next generation is never like the last generation. It's just such a common thing you hear across it. But the reality is, I sit there and say, watch the college tour. Like, I got to tell you, when I was graduating college, I was not in my head of what this next generation. They're wanting to change the world, especially when you look out here. I'm looking down at the students down here. I mean, they want to change the world for good, do good, and that purpose. And so I did not know that was a Gallup poll, but it doesn't surprise me because I say that a lot outside. It's amazing. Listen, thank you.
I love this generation. They are fired up. And particularly those students who choose to come to Northwestern, and there's no question, you pay a premium to come to a place like Northwestern, and you're making that investment in your future and in your life. And so we owe it to our students to give them our very, very, very best in every way. We want this experience to exceed their expectations. We always say that we want to create a place where students don't want to go home on weekends. And if we can do that, those are the kinds of, that's the level that we're aiming for with our students. But really, we owe it to them because they want to live this life of purpose. They want to live a life that is valuable and difference-making in the world.
And that is it's an invaluable investment when you think about what you're going to get. So I thank you for your time. I want to thank you for having just the college tour here, opening your doors, letting us share this, and just can't wait for everyone to watch this episode, hear these students' stories, and just and for you to spend a little bit of time with us. I really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for being here.
All right, it's been awesome. All right, we'll see you next time, everyone. Take care.
We are unwavering.
Cheers. That's right.